Have you ever found that you had someone who people thought they never had children, but maybe they had lost a child?
Yes.
And then this just changes.
It does. And we will have family members that say, oh, well, mother-in-law, I was born and a mother lost 3 children and she won't want a baby. We have one wonderful little lady that her adult twins had been killed in a car accident together.
Oh, goodness.
And she wanted twins
Mhm.
and she named them after her children.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And there's always somebody that's going to want twins.
Okay.
I had one delightful little lady. She's in a wheelchair. She gets her 2 babies and she's got them up under her arms in a death group. And she's making her little tiny wheelchair to get back to her room. Yeah. It's so cute. And one of the caregivers said, I'll get one of those. I said, no. You leave them. She wanted the 2 babies for a reason.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lexie Callies. Do you feel the squeeze of caring for an elderly loved one and school-aged children? Then welcome to the Sandwich Stories. Let's dig in.
Hi everybody. It's Lexie Callies with the Sandwich Stories. I have a guest today. This is Mary Greer with the Grandbaby Project.
Yes.
And she's here to talk to us. It is a worldwide project.
Yes.
And I'd love to hear about it because we have your cute little baby here. She's so adorable. So she's going to tell us all about it.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I really do appreciate it. And especially the Grandbaby Project does. The Grandbaby Project is dementia doll therapy. And what it does is it works with our loved ones, whether in a home setting or in a community. It works with them when they're stages 4 and above with dementia. And unfortunately, there is no way to say, well, someone's in stage 2, it'll be 3.5 years before they're in stage 4. That is not possible. Everyone that is listening to us now can have the exact same diagnosis with dementia, and we will all have a quote unquote different disease because it's going to progress differently. But what we are is we are a 23-year labor of love.
Wow.
The Grandbaby Project was started by Tonja Moon, and it is in honor of her grandmother Ruby.
Okay.
Ruby, Nanny, raised Tonja, and as she advanced in age, she did develop dementia, and she was very spicy. Spicy enough, she'd been thrown out of 4 communities.
Wow.
Now, this is 23, 25 years ago, when communities as we know them today were not prevalent. They were more nursing homes.
Right.
But she'd been thrown out of 4. And they told Tonja at the 5th one, you either get control of Ruby or she's got to go.
Oh, goodness.
And the next step, the only other place to send her was the state psychiatric hospital.
Oh. That's awful.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
I wouldn't wish that upon anybody either.
So Tonja's cousin bought a baby doll at Walmart, a little $6 baby doll.
Yeah.
Nothing like what I'm holding today. We're just talking a hard plastic baby doll.
Yeah.
On the idea that the only time that Nanny was good was when Tonja was there with her actual real baby camera.
Okay.
So her cousin said, well, maybe this will distract Nanny long enough. You can grab the baby and get out.
Yeah.
So they wrapped her in a washcloth and they gave the baby to Nanny.
Yeah.
And her life changed that day.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Everything became about the baby. Nanny would live there over 2.5 more years.
Wow.
She died with her baby in her arms.
Oh, gosh.
But from then on, it was, Miss Ruby, we need to go down to the dining room. Everybody wants to see what the baby's wearing today.
Yeah.
Take your medication. One of the first things that we see with dementia is that the loved one wants to stop taking a bath.
Yes. That was
we do not know why this happens, but that's the first thing. So it becomes, we want to take care of the baby. We want to clean the baby. You have to get your bath.
Yeah.
You have to eat your dinner. You have to take your meds. We need to go downstairs. Everything becomes about the baby.
Right.
Because what we're not always thinking about is these people in communities and in homes.
Mhm.
We're talking about doctors, lawyers,
Yeah.
nurses, teachers. We're talking about people that were at the pinnacle of their field.
Mhm.
And now you're saying, here's when you eat, here's when you do this, here's when you do that.
Yes.
We have to change your diaper.
Yes.
And we've taken every power of decision. We've taken everything away from these people.
Mhm.
Now, when we give them the baby, we're giving them back, first of all, their dignity. But second of all, we're able to put behaviors on the baby that we want them to exhibit.
Right.
This is behavior modification without the use of pharmaceuticals.
It's amazing.
I found out recently that the average senior takes 5 medications that they need.
Yes.
They take 10 medications to counteract the side effect of the first 5.
Yes, exactly.
In other words, they're pickled.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no shot, there's no pill, there's no liquid, there is nothing that will work as fast as this.
Yeah.
Because I have gone into communities
Mm-hmm.
and handed not this baby. This is my baby, but handed a baby to someone that maybe has not spoken in over a year.
Right.
In less than 5 minutes, they are singing a lullaby to their baby. Now, sometimes it is word salad because that portion of their brain has deteriorated. Many times it is songs that they sang their own children. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves the little children. Things like that. Because music is the only medium that touches every lobe of the brain's cortex.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of music. So we play music. I have my music here. I have lots of playlists.
Yes.
And so this baby, when we bring the baby in, it helps everything that they're doing because they want to eat now. Yeah. Because they want to take care of the baby.
They want to care for the baby.
They are no different
Right.
than we were when we were young mothers.
Correct.
Even if we weren't hungry, we were still going to eat because I got to eat, got to take care of the baby.
Right.
I got to build up my strength.
Yeah.
They're the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
And your loved one, whether it's mom, dad, grandma, they live in a bubble. I cannot take them out of that bubble. I would if I could.
Yeah.
But this baby is allowing you to step into that bubble and to visit for a while.
Right.
Because your mom may not know that you're her daughter.
Yeah.
But she is going to associate you with the nice lady that comes on the weekend and brings something for the baby.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we can remember back when somebody rang the doorbell and we looked out and there they stood with the little bag with baby gift in it. Oh man, we're opening the door. Come on, you guys, that's for the baby. They're absolutely no different.
Right.
But it helps them to express themselves again. You may notice them rubbing the baby's knee.
Okay.
Well, we know there's nothing wrong with the baby.
Right. Yeah.
But take a look at their knee. They may have a wound on there that you didn't see or a bruise.
Right.
So we're putting a lot on these babies.
Yes.
To help change their behavior.
Right.
But they are putting a lot on it because it is a way, especially if they're not nonverbal, it is a way to see something that they're having an issue with.
Right.
If they're playing with the baby's mouth, they may have a toothache.
Right.
Ear, they could have an earache.
Right.
And not know to pull on their ear like we did when we were babies. If our ears hurt, we pulled on it. They may not make that association, but they may play with the baby's ear. So
amazing.
Tonja knew because of what she saw that she wanted to do dementia doll therapy. She wanted to do something with dolls.
Right.
And so she waited until the baby, Cameron, was off in college. Now Cameron is herself a mother. Baby Cash was born 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So the Grandbaby Project has come full circle.
Yes.
The baby has a baby.
That's amazing.
And so she knew she wanted to do that. Well, when she started looking for information, just like all of us, we Googled.
Yeah.
There wasn't any.
There's nothing out there.
There isn't. Now, dementia doll therapy has been used in the UK, the countries of the Commonwealth, and in Japan for about 26 years.
Right.
And some of our best studies have come out of Australia. There's 16 studies for dementia doll therapy.
That's amazing.
In the world, there's 16 studies. We're doing our first white paper this year. So there's going to be 17.
Right, yeah.
But it was not prevalent in the United States. Now, we do use doll therapy for children that have undergone trauma.
Exactly.
And it's very effective.
Yes.
So why would it not be effective with our elderly?
I know. It's amazing.
It really is. So we started working with doctors in the UK, how to introduce this, how to bring it forward. Now, there are dementia doll companies in the United States, great companies, but they're coming in with, here's your baby, here's your baby, here's your baby.
Yeah.
We do training. Our training comes through the Dementia Society of America.
Okay.
We are supported by them through their grant program.
Right.
And so we have activities that we can give to the home caregiver as well as the communities. We can focus on communities first. We've got 25 people in memory care. Now we can pull them all out into one room with one caregiver taking care of them. It takes the average dementia patient 25 to 40 minutes to undress, change the diaper, and redress the baby. I will not tell you how long it took me when I got started. That's scary, but it does. And it's an activity that everybody can be a part of. So there's one caregiver. That frees up the other caregivers to go out and to do other things in the community that need to be done. So essentially, we are giving them back hours in their day.
Yeah, so they can be more efficient.
They can be more efficient, exactly. Let's be honest, communities are notoriously understaffed, like everything else. So if you are understaffed, pull out the baby and let's do the diaper change. Yeah. Now, when our babies come in, they're dressed in doll clothes. Okay. So we undress them. All of our babies have on newborn baby clothes.
Okay.
They also have on swaddler diapers because when you pat their bottom, as every person will do, you got a nice little padding back there.
Okay. Yeah.
All of our clothes are, well, maybe not so much on her because she's the one that I do presentations with, but all of our clothes are chosen for tactile.
Yeah.
So here we've got a bow.
Okay.
Little ruffles. Tutus are huge.
Oh, that's
tutus are big. Corduroys are big. Now, going into a dementia person's home, we are not going to have buttons.
Right. No.
Because buttons come out and buttons go in the mouth. Our babies also do not have that voice box.
Okay.
If you see a baby like this that has a voice box, that voice box is about as big as the end of my thumb. And no disrespect meant here, but the dementia patient is like a puppy. When you give a puppy a squeaky toy, what's the first thing they do? They pull the squeaky out. Of course, the dementia patient's going to do that. They're going to swallow it. Yeah. Now we're going to go to the ER. Yeah. So what we do in the communities is we come out. We train everybody that is going to have some interaction with the baby, right down to the kitchen bussers and everything like that, because we all know this is a doll.
Right.
The guy that busses the kitchen sees it on the floor. He just doesn't want people to step on it, fall over it, or whatever. So he picks it up.
Oh, yeah.
Now we all know it's a doll. Grandma does not realize it is a doll.
Oh.
She sees it as a baby, and you just picked it up in the leg.
Oh, she's gonna have a fit.
Oh, she's gonna have a fit and a half, especially if it's her baby.
Yeah. Oh
my gosh,
even worse.
That is even worse. So we're going to train everyone that's going to have hands-on to these babies. We're going to put them through a training session. Once again, through the Dementia Society of America. We're putting them through that training session so that they know how to deal with this as a baby, because we're wanting to hold it. Well, you've got to support the head. Yes. Everything like that. So we're teaching everyone how to handle the babies.
That's wonderful.
And also by encouraging the outfits that we choose. We support Once Upon a Child.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The resale shops.
Yes, I do know it.
Because in a way, this can be like a fidget blanket.
Mm.
because they've got something to work with. And, fidget blankets are very popular in our communities and in our homes
Mhm.
with the home caregivers. So they have something to play with. Zippers and snaps are big.
Yes.
And so, I know that the little bow's going to come off, the little hat's going to come off, but we have babies. We have male and female. They don't have any little parts.
Mm-hmm.
It is how they are dressed. The girl's going to have bows, boys going to have hats.
Okay.
And we have a demographic for everyone. We have Caucasian,
Mm-hmm.
African American, Asian,
Mm-hmm.
Indian, Hispanic, and biracial.
Wow.
So everyone will get a baby
Mm-hmm.
that matches with them or with the children that they had.
Okay.
We had one lady who was a Caucasian,
Mm-hmm.
so we gave her a Caucasian baby. And she's just sitting there. She's not
participating.
Participating, anything. A caregiver runs over to me. She goes, she had 4 children that were adopted. They were African American. I switched out the baby really quick, and it's like, oh, I know what to do with this. This is a baby.
Right.
And it was wonderful because we work so closely with those caregivers and with the communities to make sure that everybody has the right one.
Right.
This works as well with men as it does with women.
I was going to ask that. So how do you find that with the men?
They love it. Now the women, they are going to be cuddling and patting and everything. Nurture.
They're going to nurture their babies.
Yes, the men, they are grandpas.
We
got the babies bouncing on the knee.
So nice.
We've got patty cake, all of this. But no, it works just as well. It works with women and men who were never parents.
Right.
Because maybe they wanted to be a parent, and just for some reason, IVF is just really become in the last 20, 25 years. Exactly. So the people that are older never had an opportunity to have in vitro.
Right.
Maybe adoption was not an option for them. So they wanted to be a parent. They just didn't have the opportunity.
Have you ever found that you had someone who people thought they never had children, but maybe they had lost a child?
Yes.
And then this just changes.
It does. And we will have family members that say, oh, well, mother lost, I was born and a mother lost 3 children and she won't want a baby. We have one wonderful little lady that her adult twins had been killed in a car accident together.
Oh, goodness.
And she wanted twins, and she named them after her children.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And there's always somebody that's going to want twins.
Okay.
I had one delightful little lady. She's in a wheelchair. She gets her 2 babies, and she's got them up under her arms in a death group. And she's making her little tiny wheelchair to get back to her room. Yeah. And it's so cute. And one of the caregivers said, I'll get one of those. I said, no. You leave them. She wanted the 2 babies for a reason.
Right.
And so we see people that, of course, have lost children to accidents, that never had children, maybe had multiple miscarriages, and they still want this.
Right.
And when we go out into a community, we leave a baby for everybody. Even if maybe you don't interact with them today. Right. First of all, tomorrow morning, when everybody has a baby, you're going to want one. Right. Because peer pressure is as bad at 90 as it was at 9. Except a 90-year-old will take a baby by force.
I always say when I see my mother, that is like being 13 all over again.
Yes.
In the assisted living facility. It's like being a teenager all over again.
The mean girls are there.
They are.
We know it. We know it.
They're there. And the men too.
Yes.
They're all there. You get all kinds. You
do. And it is hard sometimes for families. Now, in my case, my father was a single parent. He was the definition of an alpha male. He was World War II. He had been a translator in the concentration camps. I don't know, before I knew anything about the project, I don't know how I would have accepted my daddy playing with a doll.
I understand that.
But now knowing and seeing what I do, if his community said he would benefit from playing with a rattlesnake, I would go out and try to find one. I don't know where you would find one, but I'd be going to look. I guess rattlesnake roundup.
There's a strange snake guy around. We could find.
I would find, and because I've seen what this does.
Right.
And 2 years ago, I did a baby shower around Christmas.
Mhm.
The community did a marvelous job. Balloon walls, they had more food than the church homecoming. Santa Claus was there. And they had told me that Miss Hazel, her husband was there. Fake names.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But her husband was there.
Mhm.
And she did not want him to partake in the babies. But they still brought him in to have snacks.
Right.
And so when I went by him carrying babies, he looked up at me. Oh, I gave him a baby. I thought, what's worse she can do? Bite me?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that.
Exactly.
So in a few minutes, they came and said, Miss Hazel is here.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fine.
It's fine.
And then in a few minutes, they came and they said, Miss Hazel wants to see you.
Mhm.
I'm like, uh-uh.
Oh, no.
So I go and she's sitting on the hearth and her husband is sitting with his back to us in a
Okay.
wheelchair. Now he has a baby,
Yes.
but he's back to us. Well, she told me everything that she didn't like about my program and
Mhm.
3 things she didn't particularly care for about me.
Oh, well. She had
said,
opinions.
she had opinions. She said, look at this. And she turns her husband around. Now, this man has been totally non-responsive for 6 months. He had handprints in the leather on his wheelchair.
Oh.
She turned him around. He has his baby up in his arms and he's feeding it a cookie.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I like to think in that moment,
Mhm.
she saw her young, healthy,
Right.
virile husband who maybe did that very same thing while she was finishing dinner,
Right.
taking care of their children.
Mhm. You would hope. You would hope she
She
could see.
she did.
Good.
She did see it.
Yeah.
I'm going about still delivering babies. And this gentleman came over. I'm going with a retired military, still at a high tide.
Mhm.
And he grabs me, hugs me really quick.
Yeah.
And he goes, my wife is singing a lullaby to her baby. And I'm like, this is so wonderful. I start telling him about music therapy. He goes, no, you don't understand. My wife hasn't spoken in a year.
Yeah.
And she was not singing word salad. She was singing Jesus Loves Little Children.
Yeah.
I've seen a gentleman who was just saying words. It was not random. He was still communicating, but not complete sentences. Right. He gets his baby. Family told me, don't give him a baby.
Of course.
And he does this when I go by.
Mhm.
You think I'm give that man a baby? You don't know me very well. I gave him a baby.
Exactly.
In less than 5 minutes, he's got the baby up like this. He's got a little boy baby.
Yeah.
And he's going, you don't have a daddy, so I'm going to tell you about life.
Aww.
If you can only make one, make your car payment because you can sleep in your car, but you can't drive your apartment to work.
Oh, that's wisdom.
That is wisdom. He was still talking to that baby when I left 30 minutes later.
Oh my gosh.
So I see what this baby does.
Yes.
Now I understand. If you don't want them to be a part of it, I do understand. But let's give it a try.
Yeah. What is it? There's no harm.
There is no
There's
harm.
not a harm. And if they don't respond, okay.
Exactly. We put now a lot of people, especially if you have mixed a mixed community where maybe some people are just starting their dementia journey and other people are at the end. They may know that this is adult and they'll tell me that. And I'll go, it is. But it just makes me feel so good to hug on her and hold her.
Right.
But now our other friends, they think it's a baby. So shh,
Right.
It's our secret.
Exactly.
And they're so happy to keep the secret. And, usually within a couple of days, they've got their baby because they want to be part of the baby activity.
They want
We
no
want
one wants to be
left.
left. No one wants to be left behind. No one wants to be left out.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a community, it gives back hours. Where I like to concentrate is the home caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person feels like they're isolated. And in many cases, they are.
They are. Mm-hmm.
The average home caregiver is a 45 to 49-year-old.
Right here.
Female.
This lady right here.
She is taking care of her. Now, she works outside of the home. She's taking care of her husband or her partner, her own children,
yes,
and 1 to 3 elderly family members.
Mm-hmm.
And she's tired.
Yeah.
Now, I come from the home health world. That's where we come in because we can come in and do all those things she doesn't have time for. And imagine you come in from your, your
Right.
8-hour day,
Mhm.
10-hour day, your commute, and dinner is ready. You don't have to order pizza, or you don't have to stop and get
Yeah, that's right.
McDonald's. So that's where I tell people, there's help out there. But if you're not in the senior community and you're not familiar with dementia
Mhm.
or other issues that our seniors have, you do not know there's help out there.
Right. Of course not. No.
So everywhere I go, except out with my gentleman friend, I take this baby with me
Okay.
because everybody has a dementia story.
Right.
Every single person that is listening to this podcast is going to be touched by dementia, whether it's your parent,
somewhere,
your
somehow.
spouse, your next door neighbor.
Mhm.
Somehow you are going to be touched by dementia
Yeah.
or by a cognitive disorder of some type.
Yes.
So I go to the grocery store and I've got her sitting in a buggy,
Yeah.
just like a baby. And people will come up to me and they'll be like, "Oh, I thought that was a real baby." And so it's dementia doll therapy.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's got dementia. My cousin,
Exactly.
everybody's got a story.
Someone has
And what
someone.
I'm able to do, I consult on the side. I do not charge anything.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm able to do is say, I know the person you need to talk to.
Right.
Let me introduce you. Do you have an email address?
Mm-hmm.
And I write it down,
Right.
and I get back to my home office and I'm shooting off those emails
Right.
because I do know who you need to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand this.
Yeah.
Because this is what I do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, because people do ask me, how do you deal with the dementia on every day?
Mm-hmm.
I said, if you come into my home or you walk by my car and you hear Guns N' Roses playing really, really loud, I would suggest just give me a few minutes. Give me a minute. Exactly.
Okay.
Because it is the longest goodbye.
It is.
Because they may still be healthy. My Aunt Rose, I was caregiver for my mama, my daddy, my grandma, and my Aunt Rose because me and her outlived everybody else. And she was perfectly healthy, lived to be 104.
Mm.
Did not have, she had very, very serious dementia, but she was very healthy.
Yeah.
And she always remembered how to get home. And if you pulled up in front of the Presbyterian home in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she was living, and you left the car running or you left the keys in the car, she was in that car. She was headed toward her old house. Mm-hmm. One afternoon, we were on Fox News because they were doing a low-speed chase on the interstate on Friday afternoon in Charlotte, North Carolina. And when they called me, they said, "Do you have any idea where she's going?" And I gave them the address. I said, "She's heading back to Myers Park. Mm-hmm. She's heading back to her old house." And she drove right to it, into the driveway, and couldn't figure out why the remote control would not raise her garage door.
Oh my goodness.
So, we have no way of knowing what a loved one will remember, how they will react, anything like that. But this baby levels the playing field.
Right.
And we're seeing music therapy. Mm-hmm. We're seeing pet therapy. Mm-hmm. This is just a different type of therapy.
Right. Yeah.
That can stay with them all the time. Now, our babies, and you'll notice that I do call them babies.
No, yeah.
Because we can't slip up and call them a doll when we're talking to.
Yes.
But our babies have very soft skin. Mm-hmm. So that does not encourage skin tears. Oh. Because when you have the sharp edges, you're going to get skin tears. Exactly, yeah. They only have like partial limbs. Yep. The rest of them is stuffing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The best thing about this stuffing is when you hold them close, which we're all going to do, they get warm. Oh, just like a baby. We sent all of our babies with the essence of Johnson's baby powder.
Yep. And that olfactory scent,
Well, that is the scent that a baby gives off at birth to bond with its mother. Mm-hmm. That is the only scent that is known worldwide by both sexes. Mm-hmm. You can go to the Amazon and they know what it is. You can go to any country of the world and they know what that scent is. So we douse them liberally with Johnson's baby powder essence. And then when you hold them tightly, or hold them up against you, they get warm.
Oh my gosh.
So it is amazing because I am handing you a warm scented baby.
Right.
Remember the first time you were handed a warm scented baby? In the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and many times with dementia, their short-term memory is terrible.
Mhm.
They don't know what the
No.
door is,
Right.
but they can remember 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago.
Mhm.
And this helps to bring back
Mhm.
those memories. And I will ask people when I do presentations, I always have her with me.
Mhm.
I always holding her like this. And I will ask people, have you ever touched a miracle?
Mhm.
Now, some people will say yes with my children.
Mhm.
Some people just say no. And at that point, I hand
Right.
her
She's
to
so cool.
someone and say, now you have.
Yeah, 'cause she does. She smells great.
Yes. And so it is a miracle worker.
Yeah.
And to that home caregiver
Mhm.
that has a 40-hour-a-day job,
Yeah.
taking care of their family member, once again, meaning no disrespect, but a dementia patient is a large, crafty toddler, and I have never seen a lock that will hold them. And you can go to the bathroom.
Mhm.
By the time you use the bathroom and wash your hands, they have drunk a half a bottle of Windex, taken off all their clothes, and they're in the yard. I had one gentleman that was at a very, very exclusive community.
Mhm.
Only way you could get in and out was to code in the door.
Yes.
Did you know that the code on a door has different sounds? The numbers have a different sound.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. This gentleman had been an engineer.
Ah.
He listened.
He knew the sounds.
He knew the sounds.
Mhm.
He walked up to the door. He coded himself out. So, of course, there was no alarm.
No.
He walked out the door. He got 2 miles before they realized he was gone, and they found him.
Yes. Thank God.
Thank God. And if I can hop up on a soapbox for just 1 second,
Yes.
please find a way, whether it's with an Apple Watch, a phone, an AirTag,
Mhm.
find a way to be able to track your loved one. I get so upset at senior alerts because you see that missing Ford Taurus or
Oh yeah, the
something
silver
like that.
alerts, yeah.
Exactly. If those people are not found within 24 hours,
Mhm.
there is almost a 100% chance that they are dead.
Yeah.
And you most likely are not going to get their body back.
No.
And whether they've driven off the road, a couple of years ago, there was a family that the husband and wife drove off the road, got stuck in a snowbank and froze to death. They've gotten into a neighborhood where they have been attacked.
Mhm.
But if you don't find them, you're not going to find them, and you're probably not going to get back their body for decent burial.
Yeah.
So please find a way.
Mhm.
I really don't care if you put a barcode on their hand.
Right.
And I will tell people this, and I'll do it. If you can't afford an AirTag,
Right.
contact me and I'll send you one on Amazon.
Yeah.
I think they're $29.
I do have to say, I know someone who does this with their child because I have a friend who is very, very protective of her child. My husband is the helicopter parent within our family. Luckily, my parents are not wanderers.
Mhm.
So, but my grandmother was.
Yes.
Well, if she got out, she would have been a wanderer.
Mhm.
Because she was always a walker. She walked
Yes.
all the time. But so a friend of mine said what she does, she actually split the tongue, took the stitching out of the tongue of her son's shoe,
Mhm.
put the AirTag in the
Yes.
tongue of the shoe and stitched it back up.
Mhm.
And so she's like, it's in there. It's the shoes he wears every day.
Mhm.
And if he changes shoes, she bought one for all pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
And so that way she always knows where he is.
And that is a wonderful thing.
And that's something I would hope that maybe those of you who are listening could think of that, or can you sadly a lot of people wear slippers.
They do.
And
Mhm.
so if you can stick it in underneath the footbed of the slipper, or
Mhm.
yet again take the stitching out a little bit and put it in the tongue of the slipper
Yes.
and stitch it back up really nice and tight, then at least you have something.
Yes.
Because like you said, if they can take their clothes off, they might still keep their shoes on.
They may keep their shoes on, yes. And studies have shown that one of the last things that people will stop wearing is a watch.
Right.
So get them an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, something to track them. And then one of the things that our babies help with is sundowners.
Oh,
and you were talking about the walking.
Mm-hmm.
You can, let's just say that I'm walking with someone that has sundowners.
Yeah.
I'm going to start slowing down. They're going to automatically start slowing down with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be like, the baby is so tired.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go put the baby down.
Mm-hmm.
We go put the baby down. Well, will you sit here, just sit down on the bed while the baby is going to sleep, so they don't wake up, Okay, we've got them sitting down on the bed. We've got their feet up. What happens when we get warm and comfortable?
There you get sleepy.
Exactly. You get sleepy. So it helps with sundowners. And then also fall prevention. Our seniors are very prone to falling.
Yes.
Well, when you're carrying a baby,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be ultra careful. You're also going to spend a lot of time in the ye old rocking chair, rocking your baby. Well, these chairs don't move, but you're rocking your baby, and and then it helps with socializing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the two people that are sitting together, it's only word salad. They're talking about their baby because they're fussing with the outfit and they're doing this. Well, you can't see. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're doing this. They're fixing the hair. They're working on the shoes. Everything.
Right.
So that they're talking about their babies, even it's nothing that any of us can understand.
Right.
So it really, especially, you've got your people in the community that it works with. You've got your home people that it works with, because you can put them at the table like this to change the clothes. You've got that few minutes to put something in the crock pot.
Right.
Make a sandwich, go to the bathroom, get their medication and some juice or whatever they're taking it with. And so it frees up that time, maybe just to sit down. But then also you're making memories.
Right.
I will tell people, I am so sorry your mother does not remember when you got married or when you broke your arm. But she's going to remember that today, maybe you changed the diaper on the baby, or you just had a good, comfortable time. So many of us go into community or go into our families with dementia or with cognitive issues. And we want them to remember. And they want to remember.
Oh, yeah.
But they can't.
No.
Thank you so much for listening to Sandwich Stories. I really hope you learned some new things and enjoyed it. If you did, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your dad, tell everybody you know to also listen. Maybe they'll learn some new things, how to help each other out, and find us at Sandwich Stories Podcast. Thanks so much.